Hello everyone, this is Dr. Olson, and in this video I'm going to go through the basic taping techniques of the smaller toes. So it's basically the same thing as the big toes, but a separate video. So with the little toes, you want to have your tape pre-cut. I usually kind of go with a general 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches long. And that usually is a good place to start with the smaller toes. There's a fair amount of variation in the length of the smaller toes. So I'll take my pre-cut strip and I'll kind of eyeball it just to see if it's about the proper length. And if it's the proper length, then I'll just go ahead with it, the pre-cut that I have, or I will cut it down if needed. But this does not need to be cut down. So the skin is clean and dry, and I've applied a liquid adhesive of my choice, which I talk about in another video. And then I'm going to access the tape by pulling straight down and then peeling the backing of the tape back. Now I have access to the tape with my thumb and forefinger. I'm going to flip that up. Lay the tape down at the bottom of the toe, but don't cross the joint of where the toe connects to the foot. And then unpeel the tape just onto the top of the foot and just let it lay down where it naturally wants to lay down. So we've got that laying down here nicely. And now we make our dog ears on one side, our tiny little dog ears on the other side, being really careful that the tape is adhering to itself. And then cutting that down, but not too tightly next to the skin because we want the tape to continue to stick to itself. And then to ensure that that fusion or that little joint, that seam, lays down quietly. Then take the backing of the tape, rub it on the seam that you just made, either way. And I'll find like sometimes you can stabilize the toe with your thumb and forefinger. It might be a little more comfortable for the runner. Get that laid down, and now we can do the side to side. Now this is a lot of times when I'm volunteering where the doctors come in handy because they're doing doctory things, so they can't really be elbow deep in feet, but they're often very helpful with toe spreading. So here we are. Pull the backing back. You've got your thumb and forefinger control, and then we're going to do, I do like a thumb and second finger, a second and third finger where I can separate the toes, lay down the tape in between the toes, and then I'll use my ring finger to secure it. And then once you've got it laying down, you can do a little bit of a cheat job and lay it down in the middle between the toes. And then you want to pinch your dog ear on either side. Get it down nice and tight, making sure that the tape is sticking to itself. Trim it down, but not so much that you are ruining the seam, making sure that the tape is going to be adhering to itself. Stabilize at the bottom of the toe, and then smooth down the seam nicely with the tape backing and the seams. This is the silicone of this foot, the tape doesn't adhere as nicely to actual skin. But there we are. We have a very nice second toe. And you can just wash, rinse, and repeat with all the rest of the toes.